Hello everyone, I am France Boileau-Cerneux from Application and Performance team in Bull Atos Technology, and I will present the PCP supercomputer we provide in CNES and mostly the prototype software we offer to retrieve energy consumption. So first of all, what is the PCP supercomputer? What is the PCP project, sorry? So we aim to provide energy efficient supercomputer. For that we have 4 applications that will be our references, and we must provide also to measure the energy consumption prototypes, so that to measure or decrease energy consumption. So that can be hardware prototypes and software prototypes. In this case, the computer will be a Sequana that Olivier shows before. Sequana is composed of 2 compute racks and one server rack, and that's what we call an islet. This is all direct liquid cooling technology, so I'll come back about that. And it is all done to decrease energy consumption. So the new trend is really to get more G-FLOP per watt, and this is really the aim of Sequana supercomputer, a dense computing machine. So what we have in it, it's a KNL 7250 that Asma presented before. It's 68 cores. We have currently a quad flat configuration, and I'll answer quickly on that. You can change the KNL mode thanks to Slurm. The thing is, you have to be aware that the reboot time will be in your will be retrieved in your time job. So basically, if you want to change the mode, you should have a kind of ghost job just to change the mode and then run your application. We have InfiniBand EDR, and as a file system, we choose MouseFS. Regarding the hardware, regarding the prototypes we propose, so regarding the hardware, actually the power supply unit is the only component that is currently air-cooled. So in this project, we must be in all direct liquid cooling system. So the direct liquid cooling PSU will come in the end of October, and we expect to see energy consumption decreasing. Regarding the software, we propose 4 software. First of all, the Bull Energy Optimizer, which we call BEO. There will be the Slurm energy plugins that probably most of you can use on, I guess, all supercomputers. There is the Bull Dynamic Resource Optimizer that we call BDPO, and finally the High Definition Energy Efficiency Visualization, which is called HDVIS. So the Bull Energy Optimizer, what is it? This is a very coarse-grained energy consumption for your job. So you have currently the sample, which is a 1 Hz sample. By now, I do not know about the fact that we can improve this sample, maybe in the future. So we retrieve, for now, the node's energy consumption, switches energy consumption, and eventually the disk array consumptions. The very good point of BEO is that it's really easy to use. This is a simple command. This is non-intrusive in your code because we don't need to modify anything. And this is what I call straight to the node's job energy, node's energy consumption. The good thing of BEO is that it is both user and admin oriented. You have some functionalities that are exclusively for users, some of them that are for both, and some of them only admins. So what does it look like? Simple command is, the first one is BEO info Slurm and then your Slurm job ID attached, and you will retrieve the information of your job. So the good information in the first command is that you have the switches it has used, you have the node you used also. Then above it's only the Slurm information. And then you will have the BEO report energy Slurm and your Slurm job ID. So you will have your job, its state, you will have the node energy consumption. So this one is the energy consumption retrieved by BEO. You can see here that you have nodes.energy Slurm. This part is the energy retrieved by Slurm. I'll talk about it later. This is the same mechanism, but not the same software. Then you have the switches energy and normally the disk arrays energies. At the end, you have the complete job energy, which is basically the sum of node switches and disk arrays. And you have a job cost. So this job cost is fixed thanks to a configuration file. You can set a price for the energy you consumed. Yeah.
How do you assign switch energy to a job?
So the R&D decided to make a ratio. If you use, let's say, X nodes, they take the number of wire, and they made a ratio. They assume that the switch energy is constant, remains the same all the time. This technique shall be improved in the future, because this is not accurate enough. We might imagine something more based on the communication and following InfiniBand. Then you have something what I call admin and user functionality. So someone can retrieve power, temperature, energy of a node. So you can have from one day until one other day. You can have the step in hour, minutes, seconds. You can also do that for the switches. So this is user and admin. Users can do that, but I think most of you will be focused on the job energy consumption. I don't think you will be focused on a node, except if you suspect that a node has a trouble. And this one is only administrator. So an administrator can fix a limit of a power consumption from a node. And if one of you is crossing this consumption, then we have a warning that is returned to syslog. And so admin can easily set sending mails to identify this user and alert him that he crossed the limit. The architecture, so I'm sorry, this is really oriented Bulatos. Maybe I should have put something else. We have the EPME tool that retrieves the node's energy consumption through the BMC. We have the SNMP that we use to retrieve the switch consumption, and this is all done on each node. This represents an islet that I showed you before. This is all stored on one local database, and this is all retrieved on the global management of all islets. Then you have the Slurm Energy plugin. So this one should be used, but maybe I'm wrong. It should be used, I think, on probably all supercomputers because it's Slurm. So we have some specific plugin, but I think this should be used everywhere. First of all, you can make profiling energy consumption. So you will have your job time frame and your energy consumption. And this is really easy. You just have to modify the slurm.conf and akun-gather.conf with the correct parameters. And then in your srun, you just add the option profile. Here I put all, but you can choose only specific parameters to profile. Then you have the Slurm accounting. Thanks to the saccount command, you can retrieve your node's energy consumption. So be careful, this is only the nodes in this case. The correct command is this one, so I put a format, but you can use whatever you want, as long as you put consumed energy, G, and the number of your job. So right here you have the output. You will have your job, the complete job, and then you will have the steps. And so normally you should have an energy here and one here, and it will be, this one will be the sum of this one. So why it is 0? Because there is a bug, I think. We were using before the 160509, and since we moved to the 160510, this energy consumption is set to 0. So we think that might be a bad regression. But I think maybe to confirm, this is available since the 15th version. So as I said also before, don't forget that if you want to change the KNL mode, this will be compressed in it, and therefore in there.
So again, what means these different lines? I didn't get.
Which one?
4 lines for one.
Because you have the step. This is the step, and this is the complete job.
And the total appears.
Normally, you have the total at the end. I'm sorry, I don't have a correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then
But
then what does mean the batch?
this is when you launch it. This is the launching batch. We can talk about it later if you want. Just remember, as I said, be careful in the fact that if you want to reboot the kernel, it will be init. So don't launch a real application and reboot the kernel, just reboot it and then launch your application on already reboot kernel. Okay, then we have the high definition energy efficiency visualization. So I think that will be of interest for all of you. These tools displays so the node's power consumption. This is a fine grain. This is 1 kHz sample. The aim of HDVs is really, that's really what is written. It's really to provide you a very easy to use and easy to access profiling, energy consumption profiling for your applications. So I'm sorry for the very small policy, but in blue, this is the node's consumption. So right here, you see only one node. Here, this is the node's consumption. The green is the CPU, and here, this is the memory energy consumption. So HDVs is using a library we call HDIM, which stands for High Definition Energy Efficiency Monitoring, but we will call it HDIM. So as I said, it enables very easy to use tool to optimize your applications regarding your energy consumption. This targets multiple HPC racks, so what I call ILED before, as long as you have power sensors, of course. What we call finer spatial granularity is that if you have, for example, a 1,000 nodes application, maybe it's not smart to profile the 1,000 nodes. If you want to profile 1, 10, whatever, you can. So as I said, HDIM is the library we use to retrieve the data consumption, and HDIM just shows the data. This is a quick presentation of HDIM. So HDIM is using EPME tool to retrieve energy consumption of a node. We retrieve the node consumption at 1 kHz, but regarding the memory, we retrieve it to 100 Hz. We use FPGA technology that is integrated on all compute nodes. Regarding HDVs, so what happens is that you launch your job, HDIM goes on, and at the end of your job, it is all stored in a CSV file. This CSV file goes into the Influ database, and this will be used to show your data according to Grafana, which is used for the graphical interface. We choose InfluDB and Grafana mostly because of portability, easy to use, very modular components. And I'll show you more in the hands-on. Anyway, you will use it. So then we have the Bull Dynamic Power Optimizer, BDPO. So BDPO aims to target all HPC applications. We do not want to stay focused on only some benchmarks. The R&D team target also, of course, parallel applications, and they don't want to get any source code modification. So this is the current status. They also, so this part, they want to limit, if there are, they want to limit the time degradation performances. So sometimes you can have the choose, let's say, okay, I would decrease the CPU frequency, so the time would be a bit longer, but your energy will be maybe much smaller. So in that case, they really want to, if we are in that case, they really want to keep the time execution under control and not expose it. So what it does, for now, we retrieve the IPC, instruction per cycle. So this will be among the metrics that we collect. This is supported on all Intel platforms. And then we analyze the metrics collected. There is a phases detection, and according to that, we will trigger an action. The polling frequency for now is at the lowest 10 milliseconds. This is the recommended value. This value can be changed in a configuration file according to, just like slurm.conf, for example. We can collect, maybe not now, but in the future, other components can be collected at only 1 second granularity. I think it will be decreased in the future. R&D team is focusing on modular design. They want to easily add a few other metrics in the future, be adapted regarding the platform and regarding the components we will have. So the detection and the control, well, it's pretty simple. You follow the metrics. So right now, mostly the IPC metric. You compare the metrics you got regarding to a threshold. The threshold is fixed by you in the configuration file, so we assume that you have a minimum knowledge of your application. We use the collecting metrics to analyze, to detect a phase. So let's say a compute phase, IO phases, many other. And then you trigger the action that correspond to these phases. So if I am in a compute phases, I will increase my CPU frequency, for example. If I am in IO phases, I will decrease my frequency. How does it work? So you have a BDPO daemon, which is in user bin folder. You must start it before you launch your application, and you must start it on all nodes you will use. Be careful that you must configure before you launch the BDPO. You must configure correctly your bdpo.conf according to the metrics you want, the thresholds you fix, the polling frequency. Then you can also put on or off the action you want to trigger regarding the metrics and the threshold you fix. And this is all packaged in an RPM that is available on PCP supercomputer. So the future work, because this is all prototypes. Regarding the BEO is pretty well advanced object. We just need to improve the error handling, so maybe you will see some errors you will see on BEO used are not really well handled, but this will be fixed soon. As you said, so regarding the switch energy consumption, I agree this must be improved. This is not accurate enough, but this is an ongoing work. They want also to add some power capping capabilities, so in this place I don't have more details. And they want to raise, show alerts when you crossed the energy limit you reached. They also want in the future, but I think it will not be for this year, a graphical user interface, probably just like you saw for HDVs. The documentation needs to be improved also, and maybe some other functionalities, but that will mainly depend on you. Regarding HDVs, this one is probably one of the most advanced prototype. What we can add is the function profiling and function energy profiling. So that would be great to get your function energy consumption. This is something that's in the pipe. I don't know when it will be released. We might use finer grain metrics, so for example, memory decomposition consumption, and also update the user guide and ANMI guide. But this one is almost very advanced product. Regarding the BDPO, so this one is really at its starts. So there are many, many features, possibilities. Among them, they want metrics profiler module, so which means that you will have your metrics you retrieved dumped in a file at the end of your job. They also want to do the same with the decision you triggered when you change the frequency. So you will have at each step the decision you triggered, rise the frequency or decrease it. So on the conclusion, fast. As I would say, for the prototype, so you have really BO that is, I would say, medium grain energy consumption, medium because you have the nodes, the switch, and normally the disk arrays energy consumption. And this is pretty easy and fast access to your job consumption. So you can know instantaneously if this is something you need to analyze or not. Regarding Slurm, this is more the coarsest grain energy consumption you can have for your job. You can have a better precision thanks to our HDIM technology, but this is not available on our platform, of course. And you can get the profiling enabled, which is a nice option. Regarding HDVs, I would say it's really the finest energy consumption prototype you can have, easy to use, easy to access to your data. And at the end, you have BDPO, so that is not mature for this workshop enough, I think. But the aim is to get really a black box, really black box, so you launch your job, it does its works, and at the end, you have energy consumption savings. This is the final aim of this software. Currently, I'm really sorry, but we will not use it during the hands-on. Anyway, you already have many prototypes to use, because its current design is not, I esteem it's not compatible with the production environment. So we will focus on BEO, Slurm if you want to, and HDVs. What if in the future you want them? For BEO, it will be released soon, I think at the end of the year. So if you want it, you must contact a commercial and they'll set the conditions. Regarding HDVs, for now there is no really released plan. Maybe if you all ask for it, that will push it. You must be aware, of course, that HDVs needs HDIM, which is our technology, so working on our platform, and especially working on NuSCA, which is a generation of machine just like Oxygen, for example, in Sines, and Sequana accepted prototypes blades. If you want it also, you have to contact a commercial. Then you have Slurm. So right now we have the 160510. If you want the accounting, you can use the 16059 or the 1702. It should be okay. Remember, you just have to modify your slurm.conf and accountgather.conf. Easy to use. You have to be admin to modify this file, of course. BDPO, for this product, we do not have release plans so far. Maybe there will be a product release in the end of the year, but I don't have more info about that. And I'm done.